Hello, everyone.
All right. All right, guys. Thanks so much for coming today. And welcome, Jake from the locker room. Thank you so much for co-hosting this with me. As we spoke, this is just that one area that I feel like I get it, but I can't train it for some reason. So you're the expert at this. And I know the last time our group came, everybody left the training feeling really good about the fact that they understood how to break down those numbers. So I'll let you just chat for a minute while I maybe just tell everybody who you are and
Sure.
how you came to be here. And I'm going to pass out a bunch of stuff here. I'll be
Take your
back.
time. No, I'm
Okay.
I'm honored to be here. Thanks for the invite, and thanks for all of you that are present for dedicating your time today to work on your
Yeah.
business. I definitely don't take that lightly. So, yeah, mathing can be hard sometimes, and it's so much easier if I was there in person. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, Gina. Let's go. Bring me out there. Um, Yet we try to keep it as simple and broken down as possible. So we'll talk more about what we're going to cover today here in just a minute. But as Gina said, hello, my name's Jake. I got another Jacob in the audience. That is my real name. I love the shirt because I said so. I'm familiar with that. And yeah, so I've been running, founder, owner of the locker room. Been doing this now for 9 years. Uh, Crazy to think about, but we've helped, my goodness, over
Yeah.
40,000 agents in these 9 years, hundreds of brokerage owners, brands, you name it. And yet, much like you, every day we're learning something new. You never arrived in this real estate thing. I think we can all agree on that for sure. I'm very passionate, got a background in sports. Obviously, the locker room is a play on that. So I do make a lot of sports references. Sorry, not sorry in advance for that. If I lose you and you're not a sports person, that's okay. But yeah, this is one of the things that I get very passionate about, what we're going to talk about today, of just being able to take something that's a big, audacious goal of yours that might seem so far away and yet bring it back and back and back and distill it down into the now so it's tangible, it's bite sized. You can almost grab it. And as long as we are good at chunking things down in that manner, we can stay aligned with what it is we ultimately desire to achieve. And Gina, her and I have been running together for, I don't know how long it's been now, over a year, anyways.
Yeah.
You're
It was a year
counting.
in May.
Yeah. And you guys already know this, just an incredible leader, beyond knowledgeable. She's probably forgotten more than I'll ever know about real estate. And I just think the world of her. I have utmost respect for how she shows up, the professionalism, the care, the passion, and how much she speaks, whether you know it or not, about you, all of you, behind the scenes. Because I have the pleasure of coaching Gina one on one. And if you could be a fly on the wall to some of these conversations, it's almost borderline obsessive how much we talk about you, and everything we do is through the lens of how can we better support them. And I just really tip my cap to you, Gina, and the success and you've had, and everybody here being a byproduct of that.
Thank you so much. And I love that you take those ideas and then put them in a nice little package for me to be able to run with them so that they're not just all
Hey,
over the place. So
that's
I
we're
love it.
trying. We're trying.
Great
Yeah.
minds think alike. So awesome.
Well, I'm ready to roll if we're waiting
Yeah.
on anybody else.
I've got some other people just came in, but we'll go ahead and get rolling. You can do a share screen and we'll dive in.
Yeah, perfect. Before I will share my screen. I went ahead and blew it up a little bit so it's easier on your eyes. But before I do that, just a couple things real quickly. So we just wrapped up our agent breakthrough series for the month of July, which was all about social media. So we're getting ready to launch our new one for August, which is called Wake Up Your Why. So it's going to tap into some of that motivation and why you do what you do. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, that's okay. I'm not here to explain it in full detail today, but see Gina. Because whether you knew it or not, we have a exclusive partnership with all of you, the Locker Room and KW Legacy Group, that there are resources, there are opportunities for you to grow and learn and develop yourself and fine tune your craft that maybe you're not fully leveraging yet. Every single Tuesday, like yesterday, we show up at 2 o'clock your time on Zoom, and we're masterminding, we're training, we're teaching, and all those are, yes, they're recorded, but there's nothing like being there live. So get those on your calendar. We would love to see more of you there. And that's what I'm referencing as far as these themes, these monthly themes are concerned. Not to mention, you've got the Locker Room University. Looking ahead, September, one of the things we're going to cover today, the very first thing we're going to cover today, is part of what we call our Agent Action Plan series. It's almost like all things business planning. So if you're digging it today or you want more, because there is a lot more, just remember this. September 9th through the 12th is going to be our Agent Action Plan workshop, where we're going to show up for those 4 consecutive days, September 9th through the 12th, and spend an hour together going through the entire workbook so you can have your 2026 goals and visions already set right there in September. How would that be? Then the
Well,
following week, we're going to launch our Q4 version of our track program. Now, if Bold is going on, hey, I get it. I'm all due respect, but that's not for all of you. That's for those who are serious and want to really double down on accountability and growth in the fourth quarter to launch your new year off strong. So
well,
lots more
we already did
details to
one in the
come.
spring, so we're good.
Perfect. Yep. Yep. So we're going to do that here in the Locker Room Nation starting Q4. Would love to see you guys there as well. Okay. I think I'm done promoting some things. Let's dive in. Let's
Nice.
roll. All right. So Gina, does everybody have a what do they have in front of them?
They've got, I printed all three of those attachments that you sent
Okay.
me,
So they have the
and
example that I'm going to screen share.
yep, yep.
Okay.
And I printed, I think, page one of Agent Action Plan, which is similar to
Beautiful.
what you sent me anyway, so yeah.
Okay. So they have my example and a blank version.
Yep,
Beautiful. So we're going to go through this together. Let's see here. Can I get a thumbs up if you can see my screen?
yep,
Oh, never mind. I can see it behind you,
yeah.
Gina. So that's so weird. All right, guys. So here's what we're going to do
Yeah,
first.
one thumbs.
My desired outcome for you today is by going through this, treat this almost like a rough draft, a sloppy copy. All right. It doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be your goal set in stone, but I want you to get used to going through this math. Math can be hard because I believe by going through this also connects you that much deeper to the outcome, to what it is you want. Now, I've got to, obviously, this is just an example. So as I'm going through this, if you have a blank copy or just on a scratch piece of paper, you can be doing this with me for your goals. All right. At the end of this, we're going to take something that's big. Hopefully, your income goal is big and it's a stretch for you, and break it down into what you need to focus on every week based on the number of appointments and how many conversations and so forth you should be having. Fair? All right. So here, we're going to focus on the GCI. There's another version of this that I have that focuses on net income, and it can be confusing. So what I want you to do in line A, follow along and do this for yourself if you'd like. Simply write down what is your goal. Don't overthink this. How much money do you want to earn 12 months from now? Or you can do this under the lens of 2026. I don't care. But a 12-month period of time, how much GCI do you want to earn? In my example, I obviously put 120K. All right. Below that, what is your average sales price? Now, some of you hopefully have historical data. I want you to use that. Look back at your year, look back at your last 12 months. What is your average sales price? If you're new or you just simply don't know, then use the market centers or the MLSs. Gina, what would be a reasonable average sales price for somebody that maybe doesn't know?
I think 220 is about where we're at in this area.
Okay. So use 220 conservatively if you don't know yours. I went ahead and put 250. So kind of close.
Yep.
The next thing that you want to consider then, and stop me at any time if I'm going too fast, but usually I know the places to pause here, is what is the average commission per deal? We're just going to flush all of this out because it's going to make it easier on ourselves later. Now, I understand. Disclaimer, 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 asterisk, commissions are always negotiable, blah, 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 blah. Okay, yes, we can move on. I used 2.7%. I don't know. You just need to pick a number. Is it 2.5%? Is it 3%? Or somewhere in the middle? That's a reasonable guesstimation with all the disclaimers to boot. So because I use 2.7%, here's all you do. You take your average sales price that you said and multiply that by 0.027 or whatever percentage you said. What that is going to give us is an assumptive average commission per transaction, right? So in my case, I've got 6,750. Everybody okay so far? Okay. Stop me if you need help.
Like some people don't have a pen. Do you guys, does anyone need a pen?
Yeah, it's very helpful
Okay,
if you have something to
you
write
keep
with.
going. I'm gonna go get some pens out. So go, keep going.
You will not get anything out of this if you are not doing this with me. I need you to break a mental sweat today. Okay, she said to keep going, so I will. Next thing is taking what you put in A, which is your income goal, 120,000 in my case, divide that by the number you just came up with, which is your average commission per deal. This tells us, roughly speaking, how many units I need to close, another metric that I can pay attention to in order to achieve my goal. So here I took 120 divided by 6,750, and I just like working with round numbers. So I'm going to say that's 18. 18. Okay. Final thing, and then we'll pause and check in with everybody. I'm going to take 18 multiplied by what I said my average sales price was, 250, which also means I need to close roughly about $4.5 million in volume. Translation, we've got several variables here to pay attention to now. Is it possible that I achieve my goal of 120,000 because I closed 4.5 million, but I only closed 4.5 million over 13 homes? Is that okay? Is that possible? Yeah. Is it also possible that I achieved uh, my income goal, nailed it straight on the nose by closing 18 homes? Another factor to look at. I should also probably pay attention with commission squeeze, commission compression going on out there. Every deal that I'm closing throughout the course of this year, is it on track with the average that I said of 6,750? Or do I need to get serious about manipulating my average commission and stop discounting my services? Or maybe I need to strategically increase the price point that I'm holding open houses and geo farming, and you get it? So these are all leading indicators that can be the path to you still achieving 120,000. Anybody confused out there before we move forward?
You're good. I think we're
Everybody
good in
good?
here.
Okay. Now let's bump down. Now, what does Uncle Gary Keller, Uncle G, what does he tell us in the MRA book is a perfect business? We should strive to be 50-50, right? Where 50% of my business comes from sellers and 50% of my business comes from buyers. Perfect world, good goal. Most people are not that. In fact, a lot of people, from my experience, tend to be a little bit overweight on the buy side and a little maybe lagging on the list side. Okay, if that's you, congrats, you're normal. So for today, I want you to fill in what percentage of business historically or do you anticipate coming from sellers, listings. In my case, I put 40%. I think 40% of my sales will come from listings. So here's where we got to get your calculators out and do a little bit of math. Okay. What I want you to do is take your goal of closed units, in my case, it's 18, multiplied by 40%. That gives me the number 7. 7 of my 18 sales need to come from listings. Okay? Here's the fun part. Don't get lost. This next line, the listings taken line, I need you to decide right now. Be conservative if anything else. If you had 10 homes listed on the market, how many on average would eventually close? Well, Jake, 100%. I hope that's true, but I'd rather you be conservative. Do things happen? Yes. Do homes sit longer than we had hoped and end up expiring? Yeah. It was overpriced. Okay. In my case, I said I'm going to assume that if 75% of my listings taken, there's a sign in the yard, will sell, will close. So because I used the number 75, here's what you do next. You take the number of listings sold, I said it was 7, you reverse engineer the math. So you take 7 divided by 0.75. Take your listing sold number divided by the percent that you just said. So here's what this means for me. I need to take, let's 9.33 listings. I need to take 10 listings in order to close 7. That's what we're saying. So you've already baked in fallout. Something is going to happen. It sucks, but hey, at least we factored it in. We're not done yet. We're going to do one more of these. Listing appointments, probably one of the single greatest numbers of why we're doing all of this math in the first place. Take this number of listings taken, for me it's 9.33, and we're going to do that same math problem one more time. But before you do, here's the question. If you went on 10 listing appointments, how many of those listing appointments results in a listing taken? If you go on 10, are you getting 5? If you go on 10, are you getting 9? I don't know. Be real, be realistic, be conservative, if anything else. So I'm going to go 50%. I'm going to say I'm new, I'm lesser experienced, and, whatever. So all you do is take listings taken, 9.33, divided by 0.5 in my case. That tells me, here's the storyline. I need to go on 19 listing appointments for the year in order to take 10 listings so that I can close 7. That's what you just did. So let's pause here. Maybe on Zoom or Gina, somebody in the room, what is a couple, 2 people, say that back to me. I need to go on blank listing appointments in order to take X number of listings to close what?
Who followed along and has an example? Kim, tell us.
I need to take 16 appointments
Okay.
in order to take 8 listings that I will actually
Okay.
have in order to close 6.
Good. And who is that? Kim? No.
Kim,
What's the name?
Kim.
Kim. High five, Kim. You passed. Kim, how does that number make you feel? Does that intimidate you? Is it like, let's go, I got this? What are you feeling?
I feel like I go on a lot of listing appointments that I have. The ones I have gone on, it is truly like a 50-50 thing, I feel like for me. So yeah, you need to somehow garner more appointments.
Yep.
Which
Okay.
is,
That's the key. Yeah.
yeah, the key. Yeah.
Could be a key, but there's also a skill set there too.
Right.
Maybe you're going on a sufficient number of appointments, but we can increase it from a 50% conversion rate to a 70% conversion rate. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Yeah, there's other variables to tweak here, but for today, I like it. I think I heard 16 to get 8 to close 6.
Thanks.
Wonderful. Great job. Thank you. Anybody else? One more?
Anybody else to him? Allison?
I need to go on 11 appointments to get 6, to close 4.
11 to 6 to
11,
4.
6, 4. Same question. How does that make you feel? Is it intimidating? Are you thinking, "Psh, I got this? What's going on?"
I'm thinking I need to up my goal.
Oh, I love that. Maybe if it seems like it's not pushing you enough, perhaps. But we're not gonna, don't judge it just yet because we're not done with this. But I like where you're going, maybe. All right, is everybody good? Thanks for playing ball with me. Let's keep moving. So now we're going to bump down to the buy section. This is the same thing. You just proved to yourself you can do it. So we're going to do it one last time, but for the buy side. So because I said earlier, 40% of my business will come from listings, therefore 60% will come from buyers. All right, whatever that number is for you, write it in. So what do? First thing we do, we go back up top. I said I'm going to close 18 homes for the year. I'm going to multiply that by 60%. Which means I need to close 11 buy sides. 11 buy sides. Once you've got that number, got to answer the question first, what percent? So here's the question. What percentage, we can use either buyer agency agreements or buyer contracts written and accepted. I'll let you determine what applies for you. What percentage of those will result in a buyer sold? Same thing. We get a buyer agency agreement, or you've got an accepted offer from a seller and something fell apart. Deals will fall apart. So all I'm asking is what percentage of those contracts written, or you can use buyer agency agreements signed, do you project results in a closed buyer transaction? I'm going with 75% again. You do you. 50%, pick your number. So in my case, I'm taking the 11 buy side closings divided by 0.75 or divided by whatever number you have. So for me, it says I need to have 15 contracts, buyer contracts written and accepted to close 11. There's just something's going to happen to 4 of them. They're just going to fall apart and poof, financing blew up at the 11th hour. Okay. Last one. Take that number, the 14.66 for me, answer the question first. If you went on 10 buyer consultations, 10 buyer appointments, how many of those will you walk away with a signed buyer agency agreement? Or how many of those would you project that would ultimately result in at least an accepted contract written offer to purchase? I'm going 50%. I'm going 50%. So my number is 14.66 divided by 0.5 tells me I need to go on 29 buyer appointments, qualified buyer appointments for the year. Here's what that sounds like.
Not counting repeat appointments. That's new.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Unique buyer appointments. I'm not counting the same buyer that I took on 17 showings.
Right.
That is not what I'm saying here. 29 unique buyers, families, whatever. So here's the headline. I need to go on 29 qualified buyer appointments for the year to result in 15 contracts written or agency agreements taken to result in 11 buy sides sold. That's it. Just reverse engineering. So we'll do this one differently. A few of you shout out or just comment, tell Gina, how many appointments, how many buy side appointments? What's your number?
Anybody in here or on Zoom?
Anywhere. Yep. How many appointments?
I need 18.66.
All right, so we're going to say 19 because you're an overachiever. for the year. We're talking 12 months.
Yeah.
Can you go on 19 buyer appointments over the course of 365 days? I'm pretty sure you got it in you.
That's always what surprises me about this exercise is that it's not as much as you think. It really
Never
isn't.
is. Never is. Yep.
Anybody else?
What's your buyer appointment number?
17.
17?
17. Okay, good.
Maybe I did something wrong, but I did use the higher conversion, I mean, the lower conversion, so I'm saying I need more appointments. Mine says I need 37 appointments, maybe I did something wrong. But
How many closings do you need from buyers?
8, well, I need 14.
14 closings from
Did I do
buyers.
something
Oh.
wrong?
Okay. That's probably not too far off.
Okay.
So 14 and what's your conversion from contracts written to sold?
I was using the 75 number.
75.
Okay. And then you use
Sounds
50% on the other one? Yeah, it's 37. You're right.
Yeah.
I just used what you suggested in there.
Yeah. No, it's 37. Yeah.
Okay.
Do you like that number? Or do you not like that number?
No, I like it, I just, you know.
Okay.
It's less than one
It's
buyer
not that
appointment a
much.
week.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's less
Yeah.
than one buyer appointment a week.
Mine's 27. I
27.
the wrong one.
Okay.
Okay.
So 20.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wait.
My goal's way lower.
No, you know,
No,
I think that's
no
right.
judgment. I should have created that environment. Hey, it's just a number, man. And that's
Yeah.
why I asked you guys that follow-up question. I would ask everybody if I had the time. What does that feel like? What does that number mean to you? How do you respond to the number? Because here's the thing, numbers are not emotional. We're the ones that make them emotional. We're the ones that assign a label to a number. It's good, it's bad, it's right? That's an emotional reaction to something that's actually not emotional at all. It's just a number. So, okay, is everybody caught up so far? Are you here? Some of you are probably jumping ahead. That's okay too. Just making sure. This is always hard. I always got to check in. All right,
All good in here.
perfect. Last thing, if you haven't done this then already, bump down to the very bottom section. This is really the talking point, you guys. All this math, all this work, all this reverse engineering is really to get us down to this main talking point here. How many appointments do I need to go on per week? Am I going to be really pissed off if I didn't land perfectly 60-40 like I projected? No. As long as I hit my goal, dude, I'm good, right? So the storyline really, really is add up your listing appointments plus your buyer appointments. What is it? For me, I went 29.33 plus 18.66. Translation, for my mock goal here, I need to go on 48 appointments for the year, aka one a week. One a week. This is where I'm going to go on a bit of a rant just for a second to earn 120K gross. I need to go on one qualified appointment a week to earn 120 grand. Huh. I don't know, guys. I don't know where you come from, but I think I do because we're Midwest folks. We're hardworking. You know what? That spends at Walmart here in the Wisconsin Dells. That's a lot of money for a lot of people where I grew up. And some of us just need the wake-up call, for heaven's sakes, that this ain't so hard. We're the ones that make it hard. Get some perspective. We're not asking you to shovel dirt, pave highways in the blazing heat for 8-10 hours a day. We're not talking about that. We're in the people business. We're just saying go talk to people, go have conversations. And of those, can you go on one qualified appointment a week and you're going to clear 6 figures? Are you kidding me? Did your last job offer you any sort of opportunity like that? I doubt it. I doubt it. So here's all that matters to me. All this, the rest of this can be considered fluff, kind of. It's important to analyze, but it's all I care about. If I'm Gina and you give me permission to coach you and hold you accountable, this is the only question that kind of matters. coming from Gina's mouth. Hey, I'll just pick on Jenny. You don't have to answer, but Jenny, did you or did you not go on one qualified appointment this week? It's a yes or a no question. From the time you wake up on Monday morning and the time your head hits the pillow Sunday night, did you or did you not go on one qualified appointment? It's real simple. See, here's what we want to do. Well, you see, because my dog and the weather and all the things, and you don't understand. You. No, I understand. It's called life, but it's also called prioritization and going and getting what's rightfully yours. What do you desire? What do you want? How will that transform things for you? Cut out the fluff. Stop making excuses. Lean into this. Go talk to enough people. Maybe it's the first person you talk to, bam, got your appointment for the week. Other weeks it requires you to talk to 50 people. But go on one qualified appointment. And if you don't have buyers and sellers jumping out of the woodwork just yet, don't let yourself off the hook. I'll bend and flex with you. Maybe your qualified appointment for the week was with a vendor partner, a loan officer, an appraiser, somebody that might become a referral buddy for you. I'll take it for now, as long as it's Scout's Honor, a legitimate meeting. Okay, but don't end a week without holding yourself, in this case, without going on one qualified appointment that moves the needle forward, that positions you for business. Everything else is just noise. Gina, anything you want to, and I'm kind of just riffing here, but anything you want to add?
No, that's okay. I love that you just brought that up, because don't end the week with I didn't succeed in getting that appointment without thinking, is there still somebody I can latch on to? We just did the 5-star script last Friday in
Yeah.
scripting. And it was about making connections with lending partners and calling your database to see if they need somebody, you know the script, it's in the locker
Yeah.
room. So if you didn't get a buyer or seller appointment, dig into that vendors list, make those connections, call your past clients and say, hey, I'm putting together this vendors list. Did you do business with somebody recently that can go on that list that I can meet with? Those are still ways of lead generating, getting business from other partners. So thank you for bringing
Amen.
that up.
Amen. Amen, sister. Okay, so I'll get off my soapbox here for a minute, but what is that number for some of you? I'd love to hear just a few people from the audience shout it out. What is your grand total number, and what does that translate to per week?
Anybody?
I got 48 as well.
48?
Mm.
Nice.
All right, 48. Love it. High five.
Yes. How many appointments do you guys need to go on?
28 for a year.
28?
46.
46?
28, 46. Yep.
How
Okay.
about you, Brittany? I know you're doing the numbers. I see you looking down. You're muted.
I'm doing the numbers and I just got a listing, so I'm trying to do both things at the same time. So speaking of, don't want to, well, I have it's 33 per year. I didn't do the next 2 ones though, but that appointments per week would
Yeah,
be 33 through the year.
Awesome. I hate when that happens. Dang it. You get a listing when you're on a training. God.
I know. I'm doing both.
Yeah, great job. Okay, so hopefully everybody should have their number. Don't forget, just even for your own mindset, to translate that into how many per week. Because you might say, Jake, I only want to work 26 weeks out of the year. You might say I'm working all 52 weeks. I don't care. In my example, I used 48. Okay. But break it down to the weekly thing, because here's not the soapbox version, the human Jake version of this. I understand that right now in somebody's mind, you might be thinking, well, it can't be that easy. It can't be. So you don't, and I do understand where you're coming from if there's that thought. Here's what is hard or complicated about this. It's the consistency. It's the time on task. See, it's one thing for me to just say, I just need to go on one a week. All right. But can you do that week over week over week over week for an extended period of time? That's the gamemanship here. Because I also know that you've got a life, I also know that as these appointments rack up and you start converting them, you've got to service the existing business. It's simple on its face, but what makes it not so easy, per se, is that things compound. And the very things that you did to get these appointments are the very things that you stop doing because you're over here servicing the existing business. And that's what Gary Keller warns us all about in the book Shift, when Gary is quoted by saying, current business should never take priority over future business. He's not saying do a terrible job on your existing clients. Of course, he's not saying that. But it's just a reminder to say we've always got to be doing the thing. We've always got to be, oh, what's the word? Lead generating, or having conversations, going on appointments, even when your pipeline is as full as it's ever been. Hallelujah. Right? That's the potentially complex thing about this. But when it's distilled down, it seems so simple. And here's what I love about this. When it seems simple, hopefully that is kind of what's registering with some of you today. I believe that for most, there's a belief gap. So when I can see it like this, one a week, it's simple. That raises my confidence that I can actually do this. And when I raise my confidence, that raises my belief. And when my belief raises, that raises my conviction. And when my conviction raises, that levels up the action, the bold action that I'm willing to take, which therefore impacts the result. Confidence, belief, conviction, action, result. So if there's ever a takeaway from this, and we're not done, at least let it influence your confidence or your belief just a little bit or a lot of it, because that will absolutely play out for you on the actions and therefore the results that you get. I hope this right here, chunking it down, at least moves the belief and or confidence needle.
Let me also say two parts. If you didn't get your new appointment this week, that means I have to get two next week.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind when you're, looking at your lead generating. If I didn't do the things I needed to do this week, now I have to, if I want to hit my goal, it doesn't mean I just skip it. It just means now I have to do twice as much next week.
Right.
Consistently. Also, I find a lot of agents fall into this category. Yay, I've gotten my appointments and I've gotten 5 pendings, or I've gotten a couple of listings, and then they forget this fact. I still have to make a paycheck in 3 months from now. So
Yeah.
what I do today, which is now getting engulfed in home inspections and negotiations and taking photos of new listings and all the things that go along with getting the appointments. What you're saying then is, I'm going to keep working on this business here, or in this business instead of on it. And then I'm okay not having a paycheck in 3 months, because then I have to start over again. And for me, who also sells houses, it feels like I've lost a job over and over and over and over again, because I'm starting over from scratch again. So
Yep.
I don't know about you, I can't take the pain of constantly feeling like I'm starting a new job. So you have to be consistent in doing it, because then you will get a paycheck in 3 months. But you make that decision. I know Mason and I were just talking about this yesterday. When you don't do the things that are required of you as a salesperson, no matter what you sell, you're making a decision that it's okay not to have that apartment or that car or that vacation, or to be able to pay my bills or have a nice Christmas. You're making that decision because you chose not to do the things that causes you to have the appointments, which causes you to have the closings.
I'll just let that stand. There's nothing I need to say more.
Yeah.
Not even going to try right there. Yes. Well said, Gina.
Thank you.
So to close this sheet out, and again, this is all consistent, you guys. This isn't what Jake thinks. Number one, I've seen this play out to be very true, reasonably true, if not borderline conservative for most agents. And it's from Gary Keller. So do I need to say anything more? Okay, just open up the red book and there it is. But this is important. Generally speaking, there's a blend, and I think a blend between these two is healthy when it comes to a database. That's a different conversation for a different day. But if we were just to math this out, I want to know, well, how many real relationships? What does my database really need to look like? So all the way up the top, remember, what was your unit goal? For me, it was 18. So I'm going to use the number 18 and divide that by 0.05, 5%. Because whether it's MREA says a different number, but since then in different leadership rooms and things I've been in, if you're a newer, lesser experienced agent, a 5% return on your database is the probable yield that you will have. If you're upwards of 10, 12 or better, great. But again, I'm playing on the conservative side. So in other words, for every 20 people in my database, 5%, for every 20, they or someone they know will have a real estate need this year. It's just, are they going to refer you? Becomes the question. So if I can project 5% return on my database, assuming I'm marketing and communicating and blah, blah, blah the right way, I need 360 people. Because 360 times 5% equals 18. 18 closings. If I had a real database, names, phone numbers, emails, addresses, and I'm communicating with it systematically, it absolutely, mathematically should produce 18 closings for you. And if you're thinking, well, I've got more than that right now and it ain't producing 18, well, okay, let's not feel bad about it. Let's get better. There's something not happening in your database. You're not using your KW command or whatever to the point you should be. Are you following the 36 touch campaign or just kind of dabbling in it? So we can't say it's not working or absolute if you're not executing it the way it's meant to. But here tells me at least it's a goalpost. It's a lighthouse. I need 360. I don't need 5,000. But I also can't have 100. But if I had 360 real relationships and I'm talking to these people in a systematic manner, yeah, I feel good. Conversely, let's say you're brand new. You got no database, you just moved to the area, or all you're doing is buying cold internet leads or something. Gary has a number for that too. It's 50 to 1. That's a 2% conversion rate. So if the other extreme being 100% of your closings are going to come from a cold database, you need 900. Maybe that's taking a monster neighborhood in your area and you're farming that neighborhood because it's got 900 doors in it. All right, go for it. But that's a whole different conversation for a different day. But at least I know some of these leading indicators that as long as I do my job on the back end should produce me the result of 18 homes. Anything you want to add, Gina?
Just that I would rather you have a smaller number in your database that you're actually making connections with and have them on smart plans and you're
Yep.
doing the things. Like I teach a class, your top 50, taking your whole big database, however many there are, and focusing on 50 people just to do pop buys and do things. And then again, if I can only get one referral or one piece of business from 50% of those people, that's 25. And if only half of them end up actually doing business with me in some way, that's still 12. That's still one closing a month from really nurturing 50 people. And then when I do the top 50 class, the definition of my top 50, by the way, your top 50 database can never be 51. It's always 50. Mind you, your top 50 database is just a tag in your database of 360 people, let's say. And so those are the special people. Those are the people that have already done business with me and I like them, so I want to do business with them again, or they've already referred me business. And so when you're doing it long enough, like my top 50 database are all people who've either done repeat business with me or have given me a referral.
Yeah.
It's not my mom. It's not a family member or a neighbor. It's someone who has thought of me to give my name to someone that has turned into a transaction. So I already know they're referring me and I didn't even have to do anything. So now they get special treatment. They get the mums in the fall and they get the gingerbread houses at Christmas. And so you can handle managing 50 people to do those bigger things with than 360. So that should just be a tag within the database.
I wholeheartedly sign off on that. I teach this very almost identical, the same thing. Big believer in what you're saying, but we're going to attack this thing from land, air, mail, sea. So I've got the quantity, but knowing there's also a quality consideration inside of it, and I'm going to treat those 50 like royalty, like you're saying. And it's another Garyism. Treat the source of the referral better than the referral itself.
Exactly.
And you know you're going to treat that referral that you just got really good. So what does that look like to +1 the source of the referral? Ooh.
Well, it's 3 opportunities I do for gifts. One is you gift at the referral. You
That's right.
don't gift at the closing. You gift for just giving your name. So just a $25 Starbucks card that I send them through text message. And then at the time that the business, you got the listing, you got the buyer's agency signed, and then again at the closing, I give the person who referred me the business the gift instead of the person who bought or sold the house.
Amen. Good. All right. I got one more thing I want to review. We got about 15 minutes left, it looks like, but are there any questions? Is anybody stuck? And Gina, you can tell better than I, unless there's anybody on Zoom that wants to unmute.
I want to get a picture of the room because we got a good amount of people in here too. So carry on.
Oh, now you're making me all nervous. How many people are looking at me right now?
We got a few.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. I'm just
Can I
kidding.
get everybody in there?
Yes.
Stand up, Gina. Jeez.
There we go. I did 0.5 minutes.
She's so short. So you guys can't tell. I'm 6'6".
When I first met Jake in Greenville, he said, "You're short." And I said, "You're tall." We are the
It was really
exact
funny.
opposite.
Yep. Okay. So here's what I'd like to tee up next and finish, kind of round this whole thing out. So everybody by now should at least have a rough draft, sloppy copy of this. And if you need more, obviously you've got a coach sitting right there in front of you. I'm sure she would love to meet with you all individually. You're welcome, Gina, to review this and fine tune it if need be. However, I'm also a big proponent of knowing how much time is left on the clock. Here's a little secret that I know, and you probably know too. We're leaving a season, it's called summer, where a lot of people just disappear. You haven't, you're in the room today. Woohoo. We're also entering a season that I know every year, like clockwork, a strong majority of agents mentally check out because it's the holidays. And I want you to be present. I want you to enjoy your family around the Thanksgiving table, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. I'm not saying don't be present with your family. What I am saying, though, is don't be absent-minded about your business either. This is an incredible season we're going into to gain mind share, therefore gain market share. While everybody else is mentally checking out, you're checked in. And I promise you, if you just do that and stay consistent, you will surprise yourself maybe even of how that comes back tenfold to reward you. So, all that said, some of you maybe tuned in or saw my halftime training. This will look or sound somewhat familiar to that, but I need to know, where am I at? How much time is left on the clock? The best athletes, the best people know what's the score, what's the situation in front of me, and how much time do I have left on the clock to go win the game? We can use the next 5 months and just keep going through the motions or not changing a whole lot about what we do. Or we can be very intentional about the next 5 months and have an amazing Christmas season and unstoppable momentum going into 2026. I don't know about you, but that one sounds a whole lot more enticing to me versus just mailing it in and saying, 2025, see you bye. So here's what I got for you. As of today, you guessed it right there, boom, July 30th, today. Did you know That we have 155 days left in the year. Did you know that? That's paying attention to the clock. That's knowing how much time we got left on the clock. Did you know that out of those 155 days, I'm going to consider 104 of them working days? Well, Jake, what do you mean? How do you come up with that? Well, I'm going to give you 22 Saturdays. Ha ha ha, everybody laughed. 22 Sundays and 7 federal holidays off. You're welcome. And I know this is laughable because you're like, dude, do you not remember we're in real estate? Yeah, funny, funny, ha ha. So if anything, what I hear you saying is this is like crazy super conservative. Okay. All right. Glad we're on the same page then. So just roll with me, humor me. 104 working days. Some of you are dual career part-time. I understand that. But for whatever, I'm just going to go 8 hours average typical working day. Again, some of you, I can't see you, but are probably laughing at that. So 104 times 8 hours, I got 832 working hours in front of me between now and the end of the year. I have a choice of how I'm going to use every minute, every second, every hour of that. Yes, it is a choice. So that is how much time's left on the clock. Why is that relevant? Well, some of you are familiar with our teachings around the 5 to 25 challenge. 5 conversations a day. I know what Ignite teaches you, 10. I know what Bold teaches you, 20. So if anything, again, you're welcome. I'm not trying to let up on you or not push you. But what I am saying is don't let a day go by where you don't talk to at least 5 people. I mean, come on. I don't care if you're dual career. You can't convince me that that's not possible. Gina, do you want to hop in? Looks like you're going to.
Yeah, I told the group this before. We had an agent here a couple years ago that if he didn't talk to somebody that day and it was 9 o'clock at night, he would get up and go buy a pack of gum at the gas station.
Yeah.
That's why he sold 119 houses his first year in real estate.
Oh, snap. Yeah. Well, there you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a pretty good indication right there. Okay, so I'm going to use anything in bold is meant to be, you can change that out. It doesn't have to be 5. Your number can be 8. It can be 10. I don't care, but just play with me for now. 104 working days times 5 real estate conversations a day. That tells me I have 520 conversations still ahead of me effective today that I can have between now and the end of the year. Did I mention, by the way, I'm giving you every single Saturday and Sunday and federal holiday off? Okay, I'm just checking. I'm going to assume, because I have tracked this religiously now for 9 years, for newer, lesser experienced agents, those of you in the room who are experienced, you're probably better than this number. Yay. But for every 50 conversations, it will eventually yield you 1 new piece of business. Absolute, take it to the bank, 2%. Conversation to new business. So, assuming that to be true, I'm going to take 520 divided by 50. Boom. Right now. Some of you, this is great. Some of you, you're not impressed by this number. But for anyone in the room who can hear my voice right now, this tells us there's still 10 to 11 units in front of you in the next 5 months to go get. They're out there, I promise you. Go get them. By talking to 5 people a day? Not too bad, is it? Take those 10 units, 10.4, multiplied by 6,750, which is what I said earlier was my average commish. That's $70,200 of gross commission, either closed or at least pended under contract between now and the end of the year. 70 grand. I don't know. Let's do one more. 70 grand, divide by those 520 conversations. This is my absolute favorite way of looking at things. Oh my lordy. Every person I have a conversation with is $135. Even when they say no, even when they say, get off my front porch, slam the door in your face, I'm fist pumping. I'm like, yeah, I just made $135. Every one of them, cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. The problem for some of us is that it just hasn't shown up in your bank account yet because we want now instant gratification. But I promise you, you're making money when you're doing the right activity long enough. It just hasn't shown up in that bank account of yours yet. But if I can change the way I look at things, the things I look at change, clap. Every person I talk to in this mock example is worth $135. Did your last job employer pay you $135 every person you talk to? Probably not. Probably not. That excites me. And some of you are chomping at the bit like, dude, end this thing in 6 minutes because I'm going to go talk to 50 people today. You can absolutely compress time and go talk to 520 people as soon as you can. Just make sure they're quality. But I'm also stretching this out to the 5 months because whatever, you do you. I'll bet on the person who's consistent all day long. After all, who won the race, the hare or the turtle? Right? So I ask you this and we'll close it out. Excuse me. Are you willing to commit to the process? That deserves an answer. It's not just a hypothetical question. Are you willing? Willing is an interesting word. Commit is an interesting word. And process is an interesting word. Are you willing to commit to the process? That takes some thought, being real with yourself. I said this earlier, while many agents are mentally checking out, will you stay checked in? Okay. What's at stake if you don't stay committed to this? Just do the work. 5 a day for 104 days. Nights, weekends, holidays off. Woohoo. But who else is depending on you? What's at stake if you didn't? Who's disappointed? Whose life beyond your own would be impacted because you just decided to kind of coast? What if you treated everything that you allowed on your calendar as if it was $1 million listing appointment? What do I mean? I guarantee if somebody in this room right now today had a listing appointment tonight at 6 o'clock, ain't no way in hell you're canceling that thing. You're showing up prepared. You're dressed nice. You got all your stuff together. You've been thinking about it. Couldn't even probably sleep last night. But why do we schedule things like lead gen and follow-up time on our own calendars only to cancel it? What if you treated everything that you allowed on your calendar as if it was $1 million listing appointment? You're not going to cancel it, and you're going to show up at your highest and best. I know you would. So we always say it, get sick and tired of it, but I believe real estate is a contact sport. It's time to get our jersey dirty. We trademarked that years ago, and it's true. We got to go have conversations, make the contacts. And by doing so, that's the equivalent of getting our jersey dirty. Mama wash it. It'll be fine. Play again tomorrow. Okay. So thoughts, questions, aha moments. Let's hear from you guys what you got out of today, or Gina, if you want to add anything, by all means.
Yeah, what do you guys think? Some of you have done this before because they were with us in September, but most of you, this is the first time hearing it. So tell me your thoughts, questions. And we've got
What'd you
Jake
get
for a
out of
couple more
today?
minutes, so anything, yeah.
Even if it's not new information, no, we're not looking for new. Sometimes it's just a duh moment.
Yeah. Do the numbers
They were
make sense?
talking, I upped my like GCI goal just because I wanted to see how much it changed, and it doesn't change all that much, so.
Yep.
As well, move it up to where I did.
Love it. And you're rolling with it right now already,
Yeah.
so yeah,
Trying to.
yes, you are. That's awesome.
And for whoever said that, yeah, I would, if you're like, I got more in me than what these numbers, great, go you. So that's a difference between setting a goal and setting a commitment. What is your commitment number, income, whatever you're looking at, and then set the goal number, right? Those are two very different things. My goal might be 250 a year, but my commitment number that I am not going below this is 150. Like that's okay to have a commitment number and then a goal number.
Anybody else questions or anything? Anyone on Zoom? All right.
Shy.
Thank you,
There's
Jake.
it's internal. This is a processing
Let's
training,
process
so
all these numbers. Yes.
all good.
Um,
All good.
Thank you so much. I love this training. I think it's an eye opener for a lot of people and it's a learning thing for some others that haven't, done these numbers yet. But in the end, I'll say it's a lot less work than you think. But I mean, it is about consistency. If I go to the gym once a week, I'm not going to get the results if I go 5 times a week.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, there'll
Keep
be
the-
no results from going once a week. Actually, you'll get no results. You waste your time going once a week.
Keep the main thing the main thing. And yeah, Gene, I use that example a lot in the 5 to 25 when they say an apple a day keeps the doctor away. We all know this. Why isn't the saying, well, 7 apples on a Sunday keeps the doctor away? Jake, it's the same number. Who cares? Seven. No. You're missing the point. It's not 7 apples on a Sunday keeps the doctor away. It's an apple a day keeps the doctor away. It's consistency. It's doing the right thing long enough to the point it just gets boring. Good. It's repetitious. Good. So let's go out, hold each other accountable, get on Gina's calendar, allow that accountability, allow her to poke and prod and look at some of these numbers in your unique instances. I promise you, your future self is thanking you.
Awesome. Well, thank you,
All right.
Jake, and thank you for the intro into August training calendar. So that'll be published on our calendar next week. Actually, I think it is already out. So
Awesome.
awesome.
You guys are
Thank you.
amazing. Thanks for giving me your time today. This was fun and happy to do it anytime.
And we'll take you up on that again.
Good. I hope you will. Thank you,
Awesome.
Gina. Appreciate all of you.
Thank you, guys.
All right.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.